Hello and welcome to the video on how to export valves from ValvKeep to be imported into the EVT Pro. Before we get into the actual process of exporting the valve data, let's take a quick look at the File User ID command. The reason is we want to make sure that the user ID we're logged in as has the ability to export more than 10 valves from ValvKeep if we're going to be needing to do that. Here you'll notice the list of all the users in our user ID database. Right now I'm logged in as Kelly, and here you'll notice we have a property that when checked allows us to export 10 or more records out to the file we're going to be importing into EVT Pro. So it's important to realize that if you want to export more than 10 valves to import into EVT Pro, you'll need to have this property checked for the user ID that's doing the exports. Exporting the data out of ValvKeep is actually a very simple process. The first step is to choose the owner and plant that has the data in it that we want to send out to the EVT Pro. In this case, we're going to say the valves are in training and Livingston. Double-clicking on Livingston in the tree takes me over to the grid. I can export all of the data in the grid, a filtered group of valves, let's say for a specific unit or a specific job number, or I can multi-select the valves in the grid that I want to send out. It's important to know that you need to be on the most recents, as it only makes sense to send out valves that are the most recent event to the EVT Pro. So now that I'm in most recents, I'm going to multi-select some valves to export by holding down the control key while I select the valves that I want to send. And once I have the valve selected that I want to export, it's a simple matter of coming up to the File, Export, EVT Pro option. It tells me that the field map has been read in, and we'll talk more about this field map in a moment, but clicking OK brings me into the export form, and I'm now going to move it around so we can discuss it a little bit more. Here on the left are the list of fields that are being sent out. These fields are fixed and you cannot edit them here. These fields are set by you when you're doing the EVT Pro import. The EVT Pro import and export commands are both using the exact same fields, and that field map, if you will, is built by you in the EVT Pro import. So these fields are already chosen and you have nothing to do with them over here on the left. The only thing you really need to do on the export form is give it a file name. And here, the search button allows us to use Windows Explorer dialog and allows us to choose a folder where we want the file to be exported to. If this EVT Pro computer and ValvKeep computer is the same one, then we can use a common folder on this computer to export into. If this ValvKeep computer does not also have the EVT Pro software on it, then we'll likely be exporting out to a memory stick, and we would choose the drive there. Here in the input, we will give it the file name that we want to export to, and I will say in this case it's EVT Pro Test. And once we have the EVT Pro text file name put in, I can go ahead and just click the export button, and ValvKeep will go through all of the valves in the grid and it's going to export the ones that I have selected. It finishes the export process, and I can go ahead and I can close out of the export screen, and if I like, I can use Windows Explorer to navigate to the folder and find the file that I've exported, in this case the EVT test file. Double clicking it opens it, and you can see the valves that were selected and all of the data points that are common between the two programs. That's it. That's the process of exporting data from ValvKeep to be used inside of EVT Pro. Thanks and goodbye.